Hi, my name is Bob Johnson, and Jared's asked me to give you a couple of info points on Jargon that I put in an email to him. And I think Jargon is comedic, and I'll tell you the reason for a comedy in just a minute. But the first thing I think we need to do is we need to look at who uses Jargon, and everybody uses Jargon. And the next question is, well, why do people use Jargon? And they use Jargon because they're pompous windbags. And it becomes this issue of it's all about me. So you go to a presentation with the whiz-bang PowerPoint, and you have somebody up there that's darting across the front, or maybe dozing at the podium, just drilling you with this monotonous, opaque language that is not producing anything other than the almost emergency need for sleep. So if you're a jargon meister or a jargon producer, then mostly you have learned how to sedate your clients. I was thinking maybe we need a way to detect jargon as presenters or as people trying to solve somebody's problem. So my wife and I, Diane, have 3 boys. We love aliens, and of course we've seen it a billion times. And the interesting part about aliens is it has an alien detector. And I was thinking the other day that what we need is we don't need to detect aliens, although it'd be kind of fun, I suppose. We need to detect jargon. So we could maybe set up some sort of a machine that could be a jargon detector. But I wanted to have something a little more jargony to do jargon detecting. So I was thinking of maybe a jargonometer, and I would want to have a fearsome machine. I mean, this machine should be something that you wouldn't want to go and cross, because it would have its way with you. So I had visions of this being sort of like the size of a front loading washing machine, and it would have a setting on it, a low, medium, and high, and so that if you were producing jargon, it would reward you accordingly based on whatever the setting was. And I was thinking, gee, I might be able to make millions doing this. But then I got to thinking jargon meisters are pretty smart, and they would probably disable the machine by putting the setting on high, which then I'm back to square one in making my next million. Not that that really has been important to me, but it just sort of blossoms into this this ridiculous situation where it's all about me, and basically you have neutralized your ability to provide service or an explanation to a client or a customer who's in front of you, who is anxious as hell. I mean, they wouldn't come to see you with an IRS notice in hand, or with a car towed into the mechanic's bay that's broken. I mean, people are anxious. They want solutions. They don't want people, bombarding them with this opaque language that makes no sense and just puts everybody into, deep REM sleep. So, so the jargonometer, the mechanical one, doesn't work. But guess what? We have in front of us a reliable jargonometer that is always permanently set to low, and that, of course, is our client, our customer, our friend, our family member. I mean, I guess you can name. There's me. It's all about me, and then it's all about them. So the them is who we're trying to protect here from the me. Sounds like Star Trek. In any event, so I have a funny story. And now that we're done talking about jargonometers that are ineffective, mechanical, but of course the most effective one is the client. So the comedy of jargon is the glaze-over test, and this is a foolproof test to know whether you're abusing the them as opposed to the me. because the me people are never abused. They're the people that are abusing other folks. So you have a client in front of you. The client sits down. You immediately launch into this jargon that would put it would put everybody on the planet to sleep, except that there's like severe bodily reactions to this. Like people like glaze over, they start drooling. I mean, it's a mess, and you don't want that in your office. You don't want it in your garage. You don't want it in your living room. So instantly, your client, who is the jargonometer, is set to low. You can see it, and you can cure your ills right off the bat. So that's a great way to provide good client service, see that you're getting it done, and relieving your client's anxiety. Now, there's another real quick story I'll give you, and then I will let you guys go on to the next ridiculous video on jargon. The all about me thing is kind of where I began my career, and of course everybody thinks that when they get out of school they know everything, and then within the next like 2 weeks you know that the next phone call you get is because you screwed something up the week before that. So humility is always in the next phone call, and as far as jargon is concerned, I've always wanted to anyone who would listen, I would try to tell them to just be easy on the folks in front of you. Don't get tied up in your socks with jargon. And I've been sort of marching up this slope of jargon users for years with pitchforks and torches. And you know, if your client is and your customer, your family member, your wife, whatever, if they're in front of you and they're just dying on this stuff, you can see it. As a minimum, you ought to be fired from whatever you're doing, whether it's being a father or whatever jargon production, jargon meisterhood you're going through. You should be fired. Or we should get the folks with the pitchforks and torches and run you out of town on a rail. Now, that sounds pretty cruel, but that would certainly cure people of using jargon. Of course, you will always have to be vigilant. The all about me thing kind of runs quickly to when everybody goes to seminars, everybody goes to presentations. So you're at a seminar, you're at a presentation. People immediately at 10 o'clock, they rush to the banks of phones in the lobby. Now it gives you an idea of how old I am. I guess they don't do that now, they do that with cell phones. But, and I used to marvel at that. I said, wow, you know, I was younger, I'd say, well, these people are really important. Well, actually it took me about like 2 months to figure out that they really weren't that important. It was just all about me. And excuse me, I have to make a phone call. Blah, blah, blah. Windbag, windbag. I am honestly not that important. I go to presentations, I go to continuing ed to get away from the phone, to get away from the office. I have a 24-hour rule that I try to abide by as far as phone calls are concerned. But no one has ever died by my absence for a day to go to a seminar or a presentation, and I usually can get back to them within 24 hours anyway. So I'm just not that important. I mean, there's some people that are. I'm sure there are doctors and people that have life and death situations and that are exceptions to the rule, but I'm not that important. So I can just relax and kind of have a nice day off and learn something and laugh at all the people that are trying to kill each other or sell their office because they are so important. So that pretty much wraps up the couple little things that I wanted to say about jargon. I've had kind of fun with this. I appreciate your patience, and thank Jared for giving me a chance to do this. It was kind of fun, and you know, stay loose. I think if we were to look in the mirror in the morning and laugh at ourselves, then we probably wouldn't take ourselves so seriously, and more than likely we would reduce jargon use. So, cheerio and have a nice day.